At the age of 6, I had my first recording, and it was a kids' album back in Bengal because my father has been a singer and an actor in Bengal for a very long time. My sister is one of my favorite singer of all time. Learned a lot from actually by listening to her. I was listening to my dad and my sister. I actually started learning classical a little late. I wish I had started earlier. But from a very early age, I had been listening to all kinds of music. English music, Western music, gotten introduced to me when I was in class 7 or something. And so the song that I first ever learned in English song was Barbara Streisand and Celine Dion's That One, Tell Him. I did quite a few recordings with some very good musicians over there, but not professionally or anything. Somehow just because Baba, he was in the industry, so they used to say, Monali sings so well. And that's how I started my recordings. But not professionally as such. In fact, so strange, I started off with kirtans. I never learned kirtan. I never learned that. When I was in school 11, 12 and then the college. That phase, our family went through a financial crisis. So we were in real bad state at that point of time, to the point that didn't know whether my education will continue or not.
Wow, okay.
And that's when the reality shows started coming in, which was Indian Idol had started, and first season was epic. A lot of my friends, after Indian Idol season 1 doing really well, they said that you should go for this. And then I went. I was so scared of the entire competition, but somehow ho gayi, top 10 tak gayi. Everybody thought I would go further, but God has His own plans, His or her own plans. And I went out in the top 10, 9. And then I was like, in fact, I was really glad that I went out of the competition. I cried a lot, I remember. But I actually was happy because it helped me in my playback, pursuing the playback career. I started struggling and meeting certain people. Knew nobody on this planet actually, because my sister was the one who was supposed to come to Bombay, and what happened after Indian Idol was that I got introduced to the gigs world. So I started, and I don't know, बहुत नखरे शुरू से ही थे, and I was very choosy still. In spite of not having money, I was choosy. Like खाना नहीं मिलेगा फिर भी choosy थी. I didn't want to go and perform everywhere, so it was pricey like that probably. But in spite of being choosy, I started doing some gigs. So gradually, there was even a time when I had no money and I had to go back to Kolkata. I remember cutting ticket, my mom and I. We were like, can't stay, we can't pay the rent. I remember 10,000 was the rent. Couldn't pay that, I had to go back. So 100 rupees, 10 rupees katte karke mom and I just somehow booked a ticket and went back to Calcutta and stayed there, and whatever little things we did, recordings, gigs, earned some money, again came back. So then after that, when I came back, I somehow, milte logo se, I got introduced to Tips. It was an album deal that they did. I went to their office and I sang. I had sung Celine Dion songs and then they were excited. And उस time पे Rajiv Sogani बोल के somebody was there, and he was the director of the music department, I think. So he was the one instrumental on pushing me for race ke gaane. So he told Kumarji, and Kumarji told Rameshji, and then Rameshji told Pritamda, and also Pritamda knew me. He has always been very supportive. I had worked with him before this on an MTV ke gaane mein. He was very happy to hear that Ramesh ji is recommending my name. Okay, isko try karwa, iski आवाज अच्छी है. So they tried and it was a scratch. Now I had no idea that it's actually gonna be kept or what it was. So they tried my voice and Zara Zara Touch Me happened like that. जो भी अभी हो रहा है ना काम, it's all has been designed by God in a very, very funny way.